Hey everybody, welcome back. It's December 2nd. Just doing a quick little update here. Just wanted to give you guys an update of some stuff going on that I'm hoping to do with the channel, as well as dive into a little bit of the market update and show you some of the changes I've made to the recent sheets here. So let's dive right in. All right, so obviously everybody's talking about the Kickstarter. Went off without a hitch yesterday, fully funded in 30 seconds. Almost 2,000% funded in the first 36 hours. So needless to say, it was a great success. Congrats to Haunted Castle, Sid, and the whole community. Really amazing for everybody to rally behind this, and looking forward to this. All right, some housekeeping things before we get into some of the market updates. Guys, click the subscribe button. It's free to do it, and we're going to start doing some prizes in the future here. And so hoping to get to about 250 subscribers before I can start giving out some prizes every video, that sort of thing. So yeah, click subscribe, and some of those prizes that we're going to be doing in the future, some beta, welcome to Jay, Raise, welcome to J2, eventually some origins once that releases, maybe some singles and some promo cards as well. And if I start getting to some other content with some other games, we'll have some of that stuff as well. Some of the stuff I'm thinking about trying to get into, some box breaks, especially when Origins comes out, and if I can get some welcome to J2, just to get some people kind of hyped up and, allow people to get, 6 or 8 packs worth of a box without having to buy an entire box. And then maybe newer players getting all the commons if a veteran's part of the box break who doesn't need any of those. So look forward for that. And also deck tech, reach out to some of the guys, talk to some of the community, and see what we can do to, get people more involved with sharing ideas and the gameplay strategy and that sort of thing. And one of the things I'm really looking forward to myself is I want to start doing some interviews with some of the community members, some of the players, maybe Haunted Castle Gaming personnel, LGSs, just to kind of see the feedback on how the game's received and how things are taking off in their area. And so last thing I want to kind of just mention here is the collection / market tracker that we're going to go into. I'm still refining it, but in the future I'm hoping to set up a Patreon just to be able to recoup some money for the time I spend on that, as well as to give people some exclusive access to the spreadsheets and have the ability to track their own collections as well. Oh yeah, one last thing here. So I'm not very graphically inclined, but I'm looking to get a logo. I'm going to need to put it on these Origins promo cards that I'm going to be getting. And so I'm hoping someone can help design a really cool logo. So if you want to send me something, PM me, kind of privately, just show me what you're thinking. And I'm going to pick a winner, and whoever wins is definitely going to get one of the promo cards. Depending on how many submissions I get and what's going on when those promo cards arrive, maybe some other people will get some consolation prizes as well. So yeah, feel free to help out there. All right, with that, let's get over to the market tracker. All right, guys, we're going to dive into alpha quickly here. Had some people commenting that the image is too small to see, so I've tried to increase it a little bit here, but feel free to reach out in the comments, let me know. If we need to blow this up a little bit more, I can. I'm not sure what kind of devices everybody's watching the content on. So with alpha here, we've got some updates. I'm gonna show you some stuff in the next few tabs here. But what we're looking at, one of the things I kind of wanted to draw your attention to was just this complete set of alpha. The approximate value, it's pushing close to 10 grand. Based on some of the content we're going to see in a second here. But one of the things I really wanted to show you guys was this here. That this is something I'm starting to add for the first few sets. It's just how many boxes have been opened, how many boxes are sealed that are known. These 2 sealed boxes are essentially the one that Sid won for winning the championship, and the one that somebody purchased with the auction, which, one of those might be opened, or both of them might be open for all we know. But one of the things I'm hoping to do is get people to privately message me, letting me know what they've got, in collection, so I can try to keep this up to date for the community. And as boxes exchange hands, we'll definitely try to keep that up to date. And I want to keep all that anonymous so people don't, get upset if that information is out there. I have started putting some of the 2017 content. I'm trying to actually. It's really hard to know what's in the entire set, and I'm going to be working with Alex to help understand that based on some of the starter decks. But they've actually got some starters up there for $2,000. You see some of these other cards here, cost for each of those, and then I'm still trying to figure out if these ones were in alpha down below here, so this content's going to be ever evolving. But when we get into the actual alpha cards themselves for alpha 2018, what we've got here is the booster boxes, sitting at about $5,000. Packs are about $500 if you can find one, and the epics here, $1,500 to $1,500. You've got rares. The blink shards about $85. The rest of these things are going to be 300 plus. Probably Bolt Shot and Baruch would be way above that if you can find those available. The uncommons here, we've got, these things kind of range from $25 to $150, maybe even more. There's not a lot of sales. I think this giant scorpion's actually like $300 or something, but you got to find this stuff. If you can find any of it, if you're finding sales or you see it available, let me know so I can update this information. A lot of what I'm getting is just based off of the few websites that maybe have some of these items for sale. So it's not really all accurate information, unfortunately. One thing I did want to call out was these starter champions. We've got the Arthur Tanga, alternate arts, original ones, sitting at about $200 each, and all the other ones from Alpha $175 to $185. So if you can find some champions, those are great ones to get. Moving on to beta, one of the things I did want to call out here is I've got a little bit more content on some of the quantity of boxes that are sealed, that have been opened or sealed. I'm hoping as more people let me know how many boxes they've ripped open, I can update these statistics here. I think this is really important when you've only got 561 boxes out in the wild that were printed. Just getting an accurate idea of how many of these boxes are still sealed or have been opened helps the entire community understand how many of each of these cards might be out there, as well as just increases the rarity and potentially the value of these boxes or the value of the singles. And I really want to try to be a source for some provenance for people when they're getting sealed product as well. If there's some of these higher transactions going on, I can validate where the box came from, or the fact that that the person's a trustworthy person if I firsthand seen or known about the transaction. So I'm happy to help out people there, especially if it's going to save them from feeling like they're getting ripped off with a resealed box or something because they don't have any of the Haunted Castle shrink wrap on there. So when we get into the, I've got the expected value of the boxes in here, and we haven't really talked a lot about that, but I'm just going to spend some time just kind of walking you through with this beta one, what I've done again, so you just have an idea. There's 561 booster boxes, which equals 13,464 boosters. And then we've got these 996 starter kits containing 2 boosters. So you've got another 1,992 potential boosters. So the total number of boosters out there is 15,456, even though the total number of boxes is 561. And so we've got the composition of the set, understanding how many rares, commons, and stuff are in there, and then an approximate quantity of each that were printed. Now these values here do not include the starter cards from the starter kits. I'm working on updating that. I've got a list of what's in those starter kits, but there was no rares in there. There's just the 2 packs and a bunch of commons, uncommons, and some champions. So the main things to focus on. The rares are probably still going to be pretty accurate here. And then what actually is in each pack, what you get in a pack. And so what I've done is I've actually got the complete set value based on all the different rarities here, and that's pulled from the data that I've got for each sheet that I'll show you in a second, as well as the average rare, the average uncommon, the average common price. And so when you get to the expected value, you're looking at, all 24 rares approximately is $486. The 3 epics, this is definitely wrong. I've got to do some updates here, but let's dive into the actual the content here that's important. So this tab here is just the complete set, so it's basically everything pushed together into one, all the different rarities. And so I'd like to go through rarity at a time. So on the rares tab, I've actually included the booster boxes and the starter sets and the booster packs, approximate values. So right now there's a beta box going for 700. They're going to start pushing higher, I think, now. The starter sets anywhere from 150 to 200, and the booster packs about $40 each if you can find them, which I imagine those will start going up as well if the boxes are gone up. And then here's just some of the singles prices. So anything in green here is stuff that I've just updated with recent new listings that I see on websites. So if you go to Dragon World, a lot of the data I'm getting for some of these older cards are from them because they're the only ones with inventory online. So it doesn't mean that they're actually selling, but we don't know what's selling, and I need to have some kind of a gauge for you. So you see the Holy Wall, $22, Chrono Walker, $38. Meteorite, $30. When you get into the uncommons, nothing's ridiculous yet. So if you can find some of these singles, or if you go on Dragon World, you can buy them. I mean, like, look here, there's 2,300 copies of any of these uncommons that were printed. That's going to look like a steal in the future. Like, some of these cards are staples too that were reprinted. Tsunami is really hard to find, but it's going to be getting reprinted in Origins now. But there's always something to be said for having these originals. Get into the commons again. There's only 3,600 of those. Nice to get some of these original cards when you can't find alpha. And then the starter is essentially the champion cards. I've got, for the price of those, it's definitely worth grabbing a set of original champions for yourself. The alphas are going to be really pricey, but you can grab some beta. So I've got to do some updates to some of the data on here, but this is kind of what I'm working with. So we're going to move on to Welcome to Jay. All right, when we get to Welcome to Jalera, we've got obviously the epic rares now coming into play. So again, we've got the set composition here. We've got 2 different types of booster packs, whether it was an epic or a non-epic booster pack. Got the print run, very small again, 665. Got the average prices, the expected value in a box. So if you're ripping open a box, this is kind of what you can expect. I've got some of the known boxes that have been opened and ones that are sealed again, and I'm getting more of this information. I'm trying to validate with the people before I start putting it in here. But definitely, if you've got some and you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to make those updates. So when you get to Welcome to Jalera, there's approximately 55 of these epic rares. And so I do want to caveat that all the time, that there's potentially an extra 20 of these copies floating around that were given to some LGSs at the release. But, still ridiculously low print run. And for the cost of them that you can pick them up, it's significantly cheap right now. And I think it's going to look like a steal in a year from now. Especially when you see the boxes now going for about, $450, and you only get 3 epics in there, and these epics are, like Kabus right now. There's one for $50 listed. These other ones between, $15 to $30. You only get 3 in a box, and so if a box is $450, and you can go find these singles cheaper, it's probably you're gonna do a lot lot better for yourself right now getting the epics that way than trying to hunt down boxes to build sets. It's going to take you a lot of boxes to build a set. Kind of notable one, sorry, here in this, the bolt shot. I have a feeling that this would be a lot higher. There's just no data right now. There's nobody getting rid of them. Cabust being at $50 probably sets a tone for some of these other ones that should be a little bit higher. Maybe the Gilded Stag. Again, anything in green has a recent listing, but the stuff in white, I don't have any recent information for it. So the Angel Retribution with the alternate art, $30. When we get into the rares, these are ridiculously low print runs. Like, guys, 443 printed. These are going for, some of them are going for the same price as Welcome to Jalera 2. If you can find these, be all over. If you don't have them and you want to get the originals, like, this is the time to do it before they're gone. I've already grabbed a bunch for myself months ago, but they're you can get a Chrono Walker for $10. There's 443 of this Chrono Walker. It's amazing. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't have to beat that into your heads, but you get into the uncommons here. Again, 1,300 of these floating around. Some of these are originals, 50 cents, $1. I think the highest one here is Epiphany, $3. Subjugation Strike, the original one, $4. And the commons, 25 cents. This is all stuff it's got to start moving up. I think the inventory is going to get cleared out leading up to the Origins release. So, and then the characters, again, there's some extended art ones. You get them for $0.25, 50 cents. Pretty cheap. So, yeah, gonna move on to the next set to raise. All right, with raise, again, we've got epics. We've got a small print run, 655 boxes. These starter tip cards, I've got this in red just because it's approximate. I got to do some more research to figure that out, but these are just kind of the starter champion cards and the tip cards. Doesn't seem like a very important thing that I want to spend a lot of time on yet, but because it is the first print of Kun, Odara, Core, and Erica, in the future I anticipate that these things will actually be important to know the print runs of them, because those characters are, very low print run with Rays to begin with, and Kun just won the championship and was against Core, so I know Sid was really happy to see those guys dueling it out, and I think they're going to get a lot more play. So again, we're going to try to start collecting the data on how many sealed and open boxes there are out there, so shoot me notes. When you get into the quantities of each, again, we've got about 78 epics. So if you remember, Welcome to Jalara was 55 plus potentially another 20 for the LGSs. These epics are just as rare, folks. So I know that people put more of a value to Welcome to J, but if you can find some of the epics from Rays, it's worth it as well. And again, you're looking at $400 a box and $10 to $15 for these epics. Like, come on, you get 3 of them in a box. That would be at most $45 right now if you're buying the 3 most expensive ones that are here. If you find these epics, snatch them up, because you're going to have to open a lot of boosters and spend a lot of money to get those epics if that's what you're looking for to build a complete set. And keep in mind, if you do have a complete set, if there's only 78 of these out there, the most there can be is 78 complete sets, and that's if people only have 1 copy of each of these. So, we've got this complete set value here of $435, which is very, I want to say it's wrong. To collect this set would cost you way more than that, and it'll be extremely hard. I think in the future there is going to be a massive premium for people who have collected the epic sets of Welcome to Jalara and Rays, just because it's going to be so hard to find those cards and actually complete a set. So if you've got them, hold on to them, look for more. I think it's a really good opportunity. Um, when you get into the rares, again, these things, God, it's like these are cheaper than Welcome to Jalara 2 versions of some of these cards. And some of these, like Air Pillar, when we get to the Welcome to J2, these things are like 75 cents to a dollar, and they're uncommons. And this is the original print at $2 now that you can grab these for. Um, the approximate copies, 628 copies of these cards. As the game grows, and these are original prints, these are going to become collector's items. And as the meta changes, as new cards come out, some of these cards that may not be played as much right now may all of a sudden have relevance. And so, my mentality is always to try to collect everything if I can, just because I think I'm spreading my bets out on the game to understand, you know, if something comes out that totally changes the landscape, I've got the cards to support it. And I also like to have the entire set just to see all the cards and go through them and make sure when you're building decks, you know what you could be coming up against. So at these prices, if you can find them, I think it's a really good deal. The most expensive card, I think, is Necrolich, Revenge of the Phoenix, $7 for a rare. Um, that's pretty good. It's cheaper than other card games, and this is super, super low print run. So get into the uncommons, again, it's like 50 cents, a buck 50, whatever. Nothing spectacular there. And I just left the commons at a quarter. I didn't even bother looking those up just because it doesn't make sense to right now. So overall, I think I still really think that there's something to be said for grabbing the Rays singles, the Welcome to Jalara singles. If you can't find sealed product, getting these bulk commons and uncommons and just having them is always a good thing, because some of these decks need 7 to 10 copies of these things. So anyways, I'm going to move over to Welcome to J2 now. All right, guys, this is a brand new one. I just finished building it tonight, so I wanted to get this out before I fall asleep and forget what I have just done. Welcome to Jalara Second Edition. Obviously, we've got print runs here that are inaccurate. I apologize. We don't have an idea yet on the print run. That's just from my template. But we've got the number of rares and epics and all that stuff in there, and the pack composition, and then obviously the new thing this set, we've got foils. So one foil for every 17 packs. That foil slot replaces a common, so you could technically have an epic, 2 rares, and a foil in a pack. You've got 1 in 7 chance of an epic. There's also, I'm not even sure the breakdown yet, but the God packs where the entire pack is foil. I personally got one of those. It's one of my earliest videos. I had just opened it and then filmed the pack. I wish I had been filming it as I opened it, but I didn't. But those are possible, and so that's going to really screw with the expected value of a box. And I don't want to include that in here because those are kind of freak accidents. But the one thing that I did want to just kind of go through is, like, with the 33 epics, we've got the complete set value here. We've got the average price for an epic. We've got the average, the expected value. And it's what's crazy to me, and maybe I screwed something up here, but this expected value for a box of Welcome to J2 seems really high. $350, and a box is going for about $110 right now. Just because you're getting 48 rares in a box. There's 2 rares per pack. So the rares have, a $3 average price. You're getting 3 epics. You're getting all these uncommons. It's crazy. Like, you have 1.41 foils. Even if you take out these uncommons, the commons, the starters, and the foils, you're still getting, $185 value just in your epics and your rares. So it's absolutely worth it to open boxes of J2 right now, and it's also, um, you're getting most of the mix of the cards that you would need if you're a new player. So I haven't really getting the foils is going to be tough to get all the data, but guys, I don't even know if the champions came in foils, so maybe someone can update the comments and tell me that. The other thing I don't know is if the auras were printed in foil. I've got them in the bottom here, but I don't believe they were. I know there's the commons, the rares, and the uncommons, and these things are ranging from $20 to $100 right now. It seems like whether they're selling or not, I have no clue. But um, maybe some people can start shooting me some notes because the foils, I'm not really sure on the prices. When we get into kind of the epics here and the sealed stuff, all the epics I'm seeing are going for $10 to $15. These are going for almost as much or more some cases than the Welcome to Jay and the raised versions of some of these cards, which again, to my collector nature is I'd go buy the originals if I can find them for that price. But if not, these are still going to be heavily sought after because these are the first epics that actually have enough of the text to be able to play them in a tournament, whereas the previous versions, some of them were textless. So I guess the big highlight, obviously, the Bolt Shot, Baruch, Chrono Walker, Stone Protector, Meteorite, Angel. These are all the staples that are going to be the more expensive ones. When we get into the actual rares, you're going to see these things going anywhere from like, $2 to $7.50 for the Bolt Shot. You're getting two per pack, so I mean it's a pretty good deal. Even if you get one kind of, you get a Demon's Rage, but you might get a Chrono Walker, so you're still getting like a good pack. Usually, you're never gonna do bad buying a box of this set, I believe. Then the uncommons, nothing super special here, 50 cents to $1 or whatever. Cabas, I think, is the most expensive one, $1.25. And the commons, I just slapped 25 cents on all of these. And then we've got the champions and the auras, and they're about 75 cents per champion if you're buying those. But if you buy a box, I mean, you're gonna get a set of champions. So let me know what you think about this. My next one I want to work on a template is for the promo cards, and then what I really want to do is I'm gonna actually sit down and chat with somebody pretty big in the TCG world and kind of tweak some of this and get some ideas from him on how to make this data better, more relevant, and get it ready so that I can start getting this out to the public and getting people a chance to use this for themselves. So that's all I got for today. Please feel free to subscribe, and I look forward to helping you guys in the future. Thanks a lot.